To be honest with you, leveling up on the guitar is not as difficult as people make it to look. So let me give you a story. So when I started my journey as a guitar player, I used to be fascinated by what pros would do on the guitar. Like, I would love all those flashy things and I really wanted to be like them. So what did I do at that time? I would pick those videos, whether from the internet or if I saw somebody playing in real time, I'll record the person and then I'll slow down those videos and I will learn exactly how and what they were playing at that time. At that point, it felt flashy, but then there was a problem. Anytime I was on my own or I went somewhere to play and there's somebody's like, let's jam, let's play together, I was always confused and I didn't know how to flow. That is when it occurred to me that I was missing some fundamental concepts. The pros were playing like that because they knew the foundation of whatever they did, whether chords, whether how to solo and all of those things. And that is the missing dot where a lot of people are stranded. If you are watching this video and you are stuck, you are tired of being a beginner and you just want to improve, you don't want to remain in that level, I want you to watch this video till the end. I'm going to give you a guideline and a map that you follow, and once you do that, you are going to move instantly from beginner to intermediate. So watch this video till the end. All right, so a beginner is somebody who is just stuck with playing on the neck. That's all. They know nothing. So if you're a beginner and you are still here, you're wondering, what should I learn next? The next thing I'll advise you to learn is to be able to play in different keys. And there's no way you can be able to do that if you don't know how to play back chords. So it's very important to learn back chords, because as a beginner, it's not only on the neck that you should be playing, because there are some times that songs that will be sung will not be in the key of C. So if you don't know how to play back chords, you won't be able to navigate. So understanding back chords will help you do that. So after you've learned how to play the chords in different keys, it would be really nice to spice up things, right? Imagine that you can pick up the chord progression and instead of playing the default stuff, you have flavors in your head that you can add. That sounds cool, right? That's where triads come in. So there are different types of triads, and if you don't know how to play triads, I've created videos for that. So why you should learn how to play this is because sometimes when the chord progression is playing, a keyboard player is playing this, or so instead of you playing the same thing, you want to play another flavor, right? So understanding triads helps a lot to take you to the next level. So I'm going to drop links to triads. I've taught how to play triad, different types of triads. There are different types of triads with this shape, and this shape for different chords, but don't overthink it. This is just me telling you what you should learn. Now, the moment you have a better understanding of chords, then I'll advise you to now move to the next thing. Now, this is where beginners make the mistake. They think that after they've learned the chords on the neck, the first thing they're interested in learning how to solo. Personally, I would say that is a problem, because if you don't have an understanding of triads, now triads, for example, they refer to the combination of a particular chord, 3 notes that make up a chord. If you don't understand that concept, then if you begin to start learning skills, you can't connect the dots. But if I know that my C major, for example, is made up of a C note, an E note, and a G note, notice that it's going to be very easy to start soloing, right? So I usually advise people to learn chords, have an understanding of rhythm first before moving to soloing or improvisation. So now we are in the place of improvisation or soloing. So there are 2 things as a beginner I would advise you to learn if you want to go to intermediate level: the major scale and the pentatonic scale. You see, once you learn this, then after you learn them, don't just stop at learning them on the neck. Learn them in different positions. For example, the major scale has different positions. There's another one here. I have videos on how to play all of this, so don't worry about. I'm just showing you what you should learn. If you want to go in depth in learning all of them, just check the links below. The major scale and the pentatonic scale different positions. So don't just stop at learning the ones here. Learn them in different positions across the fretboard. This is exactly what intermediate players know that separates them from beginners. Now, when you have learned them, then the next step is to now understand how to solo with them. And the good thing is that you don't need to stress yourself, because I've created a course that actually teaches how to solo with the major scale, pentatonic scale, and then arpeggios and triads. All attached in the course below. Just check it out, okay? So once you learn how to improvise, then you can now add licks to spice up your playing. If you are watching this video and you're a beginner, you now know why you've been struggling, all right? So these are some of the things. Then the next thing I would advise you to learn is what we call seventh chords. So you might have heard something like this. These are some of the things you should learn, seventh chords, because honestly, it sounds better than just playing. It sounds way better than all of those things, all right? So it's important to learn all of these seven chords and how to play all of these embellishments. So once you learn all of these things, then you can now take it to the next step, which is the final step, which is improvising. So improvising is in different levels. First level, our advice is just to, like when you are getting started, just, run the scale. Maybe run the scale up and down. For example, if you are picking the pentatonic scale, you will run it up and down as the chord progression is playing. Then the next level is to now understand how to land on notes of a particular chord, which is what we call chord tone soloing, right? So, like I said, I've created videos. In fact, I've created a ton of videos on soloing. I've explained how to do that. I went in depth in all of those things. So, after this video, just use the link below to check it out. So, the essence of learning how to play chord tone soloing is that if you just play scales up and down, the problem with this is that it will sound disconnected. It won't sound like you're making sense or you're telling a story. But the moment you now understand how to connect notes, such that if I play a note, it lands on a particular a chord, right? That is why chord tone soloing is important. By the time you pass through all of these processes, by the time you follow these steps like one after the other without skipping anyone, you will definitely move from beginner to intermediate. And this is actually the reason why a lot of people struggle and they don't know how to move to the intermediate level, is because they skip these 5 cardinal points. So I believe that these tips will help you, and make sure that you put them into practice, what you just learned today, because it's not just listening or wanting to play all of these things. Some of these advices are what you need to take you to the next level. So if you found this video helpful, of course, do well to subscribe so that the channel keeps growing. And I have created a lot of videos on soloing. I have courses on soloing. Use the links below to get them. And if you want to now learn how to do more intermediate stuff, then I advise you to watch this playlist right here.